Those of y'all way in the back, can you hear me without a microphone? Thumbs up, good. I don't like microphones, so first I'm going to say thank you guys for coming, man. It's a Saturday morning, it's early, you could be in bed, you could be asleep, but you're here with us, and you know, just for the, especially the young kids, the mere fact that you guys got up early to come see a bunch of doctors, that's awesome. So I'm going to clap it up for y'all. Clap it up for y'all. Clap it up for y'all. I'm not going to spend very much time up here. I'm just going to say a couple things real fast. Just some stuff that you know I was thinking about last night. My wife and I were at the airport, and there was a 16-year-old and a 13-year-old, brother and sister, traveling by themselves. Parents were separated, so they were going to see one parent. And this young girl started asking me questions about success, which I thought was really mature about her, asking for advice and things of that sort. So, you know, my brain was jogging a little bit last night. And it made me remember about 10 years ago when I first moved to Dallas, one of my buddies took me to his mentor's house, and I met his mentor. And his mentor is this dude, really fluent dude. He grew up without much, dad did some drugs and stuff like that. But he ended up making his way to becoming a car salesman and a great car dealership owner. And we were standing outside, he started talking to me. And he started talking about how I didn't know what I had inside of me, right? And I didn't know what he was talking about. I'm like, man, Joel, you tripping. What are you talking about? He just kept on talking to me about hey, you do great things, you're a king, and just giving me all these positive affirmations, which at that time I didn't even understand. And all of a sudden, he starts yelling at me. We're outside in front of his big, nice mansion, in front of this house. He starts yelling at me outside, right so the whole neighborhood could hear. And he's like, Dale, you're great. He's like, what you don't realize is that you have permission to be great. You're great, right? So the one thing that I want to give you all today, to my young black boys, my young black girls, and not black, whatever, it don't matter what race you are. The one thing I want to make sure I give you all today is permission to be great. You have permission to be great. Okay, I want you guys to get this when you're young, right? Jordan, all my little young guys that I met earlier on, I want y'all to get this while you're young. You have permission to be great. We put out a documentary last year called Black Men and White Coats. I hope some of y'all saw it. My man Pierre was in it, and some other folks were in this documentary who are going to be here today as well. One thing that I wasn't happy with the documentary is we had like thousands of screenings, and I did a whole bunch of Q&A sessions across the country. One thing that I wasn't happy is because I don't think people quite understood why we do Black Men in White Coats. I don't think they quite understood why we made the documentary. People were starting to use it as a way to attack, right, and say, oh, I didn't make it because of this, I didn't make it because of that. That's not what we do at Black Men in White Coats, right? We empower you all. We let you all know that there's nothing that you cannot do. We do Black Men in White Coats so that our little black boys and black girls know you are great. You can do whatever it is. I don't care what anybody says about you. I don't care if somebody says you can't do it. They're lying to you. You can do it. You're great. You're built for this, right? So with that said, there are 3 choices that I want y'all to make today. 3 choices. The most important thing you're going to do in life is make choices, right? The choice number 1 is you have to choose to win. Everybody say choose to win.
Choose to win.
You got to choose to win. From an early age, choose to win, right? And I was reading a quote the other day. I think it's from, I don't know, it's from either Paul Bryant or Bob Knight. I don't know whose quote it is. But they say everybody has the will to win. That's easy. To have the will to win, that's easy. But not everybody has the will to prepare, right? You have to want to prepare to win. Everybody wants to win, but who wants to prepare? Like my man Eric Thomas says, everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. Okay? You got to put in the work. So if you want to have the will to win, if you're going to choose to win, first of all, you got to choose to prepare to win. So the second thing I want y'all to do is choose to grind. Everybody say choose to grind.
Choose to grind.
You got to grind. How many people came to the summit 2 years ago? Y'all remember what I talked about 2 years ago? What I talked about?
Grind.
The grind, right? We talked about the grind. So you got to choose to grind. It's not enough to say, I'm going to get up and I'm going to study a little bit. No, you got to study harder than the next man or harder than the next woman, right? That's what the grind is about, all right? And the third thing is going to sound a little strange. I told my wife, she kind of looked at me strange, but it's choose to love. Everybody say it. Choose to love. Choose to love. At the end of the day, no matter what you do, no matter the ups and downs you go through, if you're focused on love coming from your heart, right? If you're doing things, we're doctors, man. A lot of us in this room, we're doctors, right? We do this because we love other people. We do this because when it's late at night and when I'm tired and I know my kids are at home and my kids want to see me, I got to love on this patient to make sure he gets out of my ICU, right? I got to love on this patient to make sure she gets out of my ICU. COVID, the last Black Men in White Coat Summit we had in person was right here in Chicago, right? And then COVID shut everything down that weekend. We almost canceled that conference that morning. A lot of y'all probably don't know that. Because that's when COVID started shutting everything down, right? The past 2 years, I've been in ICU taking care of COVID patients, like a lot of docs in here, ER docs, everybody's been taking care of COVID patients, right? We have to love on these patients, right? So love, if you choose to love, at the end of the day, you're going to always do the right thing. So real quick, just wake us up a little bit. Everybody stand on your feet. We're going to say these 3 things together. Just wake us up, and then I'll get off the stage, get out the stage. Oh, and by the way, I hate shopping, right? But I went to the store and bought a Chicago Bulls hat just for y'all, okay? I bought a Bulls hat just for y'all, all right? All right, so 3 affirmations. Number 1, y'all just repeat after me. I will. Choose to win. I will. Choose to grind. I will. Choose to love. All right, thank you. Have a seat. So those are the 3 affirmations that I want y'all to remember throughout today.